Good morning, my love. Happy Tuesday. It is 4:30 in the morning here at the lake. The sun is coming up. It is another glorious day. Interesting topic today. Ready? You reap what you sow. What do I mean by that? So, people that are calm, that are nurturing, that are loving, supportive, kind, for the most part have a pretty calm life. Not that there aren't, problems and issues along the path, but for the most part, it's a pretty calm, smooth sea. However, for those people that love trauma drama, love stirring the pot, love to create a little mischief, they are suspicious. Their lives are much more chaotic. But they're inviting that. They're creating that. They're creating their own turbulence in the water. You're responsible for your own life. So, over the last few days, especially over the weekend, talked to a lot of people. And it's just interesting. There's, I see patterns in people, and this is the pattern from the last few days. People are just, I don't understand why so and so doesn't want to be around me, why we broke up, why this, why that. Look at your life. Look at how you behave on an everyday basis. Why would someone want to be around you? I mean, seriously. And they were a little bit taken aback by that. But I said, let's be honest. Come on. Think. Let's talk about this. How do you behave on an everyday basis? And they were honest with themselves. We talked about how they behave at work, how they behave around their family, how they behave around their friends and the person they're involved with. And they realized, yeah, they were a bit of a stinker. They like the trauma drama. They like to stir the pot. They like to start some trouble, to start some rumors. They thought it was funny. They're reactive abusers. They're bullies. Yeah. And then they wonder why they're not happy, why no one wants to be in a relationship with them, why their relationships aren't working out. Because you reap what you sow. What you give out, the energy you give out to the world is reflected back to you. Absolutely. So, if you are kind and peaceful and loving and just all around a pretty good person, that's what you're going to get back. Not that there aren't going to be problems, because there always will, but it's a lot different than somebody who likes to stir trauma drama. I know tons of people that love nothing more than stirring the pot. Just dropping little hints here and there to make people suspicious, to make them question each other. They're very big on, what's the term, triangulation, pitting people against people, just to see what will happen. That is abusive. It is. If somebody comes to you and says, what were you talking to them about? Why do you need to know why I'm having a private conversation? Well, what did you mean when you said XYZ? If they don't understand why you said what you said to them, that's great. Explain it, clarify. Maybe it came across wrong. But if they're talking about a conversation you had with someone else, maybe it's none of their business. Maybe they need to stay in their lane. There are people that are suspicious and manipulative. Generally, that's the way they were raised. A lot of times, they've been very hurt, and they have grown suspicious of everyone, and they're going to hurt others before they get hurt. They need to work on that. They need to heal that, because not everybody's out to hurt you. They're just sabotaging their own lives, pretty much. So just think about your life, the energy you put out, how you interact with your family. Are you nice and kind and loving and supportive, and in turn they are nice and kind and loving, supportive to you? Your coworkers, your friends, whoever you're involved with, how do you treat them? And what do you get back? Do you go through their phone? You go through their wallet? Go through their car? Go through their laptop? Why are you suspicious? If you are suspicious, you have doubts, obviously. If you have doubts, you have already lost the trust. If you have lost the trust, you have no relationship. None. You need to work on that. Absolutely. If you have to cause drama, if you can't allow people to be happy, to celebrate their successes, to comfort them when something happens, if you can't be a good friend, just step away. Leave them alone. You don't have to cause mischief. You don't have to stir the pot just because it's fun. Because you don't like it when somebody does it to you, that's completely different. You reap what you sow. Just think about it. Check your behaviors, check your attitudes, check what you're teaching your children because it's a learned behavior. If your kids are causing problems, if they're telling little white lies to get attention, if they're making up stories about friends to get other friends jealous, to break up friendships, where are they learning that? Something to think about. Something to think about. Check your behavior. Check your family's behavior. Happiness is a choice. Your behavior is your choice. Your attitudes are your choice. If they aren't working out for you, then make different choices. It's that simple.